Okay everybody, welcome to an LBS theory, and I'm joined by
me, Aiden.
and today we are going to be doing a Five Nights at Freddy's 4 theory. Yes, I know I did a Five Nights at Freddy's theory before, but this is a little bit different because I'm joined by my friends here, and we are going to be talking about our thoughts on who caused the bite of 87.
Yes, we are.
So, do you want to start your thought first, or shall I start mine?
I'll start mine. Well, the one I think is Nightmare Chica's cupcake, because think about it, it looks all evil and just sinister, but what actually happened? Because if you look closely, you can see blood on its teeth. What blood is that?
It's the same with Springtrap's image saying I'm still here. You should see it coming up when this is edited, but he had blood in his teeth and he was suspected of being caused the bite of 87. Most people think that it's actually Mangle, Foxy, or what's the other one again? Springtrap, as I said before.
Yeah.
But
or the nightmares.
Oh yeah, the nightmares, because they say was it me. Most people think it's the question of the bite of 87.
And the last one is supposed either Nightmare Foxy or Nightmare Golden Freddy, which is supposed to come out, is supposed to reveal the question.
Because we know that in Five Nights at Freddy's 4 it will be released on Halloween. But if you look at Nightmare Freddy's picture, it actually doesn't say was it me. It says the final chapter, which is the name of the game. And I think that could possibly be who actually caused the bite of 87, because he isn't the one asking the question.
Ah, but if you think about it, the others say was it me, but he doesn't. So that would give a clear evidence that it wasn't him. And also, if you look into his eyes, he looks unlike the other nightmares. He doesn't have his eye like an eye glowing, so that could mean that he's turned off.
And then, as we know, Nightmare Foxy is going to be the next picture, which is going to be released tomorrow by the time we're recording this, and he could possibly be the one. He might not be saying was it me, we don't know, but on the fifth picture people suspect that it could be Nightmare Freddy actually turned on. Now we don't know what the colour of his eyes are going to be, but I'm suspecting they're going to be red.
Actually, so other people though, they believe it's going to be Nightmare Golden Freddy.
What, for the fifth picture?
Yeah.
So, one person we're actually forgetting about this is the marionette. And most people think that because he was actually a phantom in the third game, he could also be a nightmare.
Yeah, I do see that point. And also, if you look carefully in the Five Nights at Freddy's trailer, his head is like going really quickly. So that looks like it just is glitching out, and it could mean that he's turning the nightmare animatronics on.
You actually have got a good point right there. Some people have said on other Five Nights at Freddy's theories that picture, or not picture, but clip when he's actually shaking in the FNAF 3 trailer, it actually will be the end of the game, because at the end of the game, when he jumped into when the purple guy jumped into his suit, he actually was shaking when he died because he was laughing, and then he suddenly died.
He wasn't laughing though. He was more just dying.
No, he
wasn't laughing. It was just going like the spring locks. The locks that kept him alive broke and he died.
Well, he was laughing before he died actually, because when he jumped into the suit, he actually made it so that when you're actually... It's hard to explain. In the third game, he jumped into the suit and he started killing people. And we're actually currently looking at a picture. He's actually always in the suit. He jumped out in the day shift.
Ah, well, also I know that, but also Golden Freddy could be a valid suspect because, as you know, he's like a phantomish. He just lies there, then disappears, and his face appears. Maybe that happened in the day, but instead of killing somebody, it just bit off their frontal lobe.
That's actually how the Bite of 87 started. The frontal lobe was actually kind of like ripped out of the child's head, but we don't even know if it's a child. Well, I've got actually a good theory here, and I've been really wanting to say this the entire video. What if the purple guy was actually the victim and someone bit out the purple guy's frontal lobe, and that's why he's seeking revenge and killing everybody off?
No, I think though, think about it. There's two guys, the purple guy and the pink guy. I think the pink guy was the one that got killed that got fatally injured by the frontal lobe, and the purple guy wanted to show revenge because I think they're brothers, and the purple guy wanted to show revenge and killed some people.
Well, you have a good theory on that suspicion of the purple guy. The pink guy actually is. We've only heard of the pink guy once, as well as the purple guy in the third game was the main cause of the third game. The third game was all revolving around the purple guy because that's what Springtrap is being controlled by. But if the marionette gave life to all the animatronics, then what was the Springtrap's life given by?
Maybe the marionette actually gave life to the Springtrap, but then the marionette thought it was too dangerous, and then because the purple guy was in it, he broke the spring locks, killed the purple guy, and that's because of it.
Well, we're forgetting that in Five Nights at Freddy's 1 there was some music playing. What if it's Golden Freddy or Freddy playing the music for the marionette?
You've got a good point, but think about it. What about if it's actually old Chica who caused the Bite of 87? Because think about it. Her behind was ripped off, and nobody in properly could do that much damage as it was shown without breaking their mouths. So he probably broke his mouth and they had to readjust it, but they didn't finish it.
There's a few Chica suspicions. As Nightmare Chica has 3 rows of teeth, so does the second Chica in the second game. In the first game, Chica was absolutely normal, but then what happened in Fredbear's Family Diner? What actually happened in there? Was the Bite of 87 caused in there?
Fredbear's Family Diner was the first one, and the only ones we know to be there was Golden Freddy, aka Fredbear,
Yes.
and Springtrap, known back then as being Golden Bonnie, in a way.
Back then, we never knew how the actual old animatronics in the second game were caused. We thought the old animatronics in the second game were caused from the Fredbear's Family Diner. Golden Freddy was the original Freddy. Golden Freddy was locked up in the kitchen in the first game. But that's what we think. What if it's the marionette?
Actually, think about it. Maybe he was left behind where the marionette was kept. Then the marionette took the exoskeleton out of him and caused him to jump scare you the way he does, and the way he does is by his face going forwards, which could lead to him biting and taking your frontal lobe off and being like in a hallucination state. In that way, it wouldn't cause him any damage.
So sorry about that, pause. Good good idea. I mean, most people think that that Mangle. Now, the debate about Mangle, as was said by most people, thinking that it was a girl. What if it was a boy, like you said? And also, what if it was actually a girl? You never know. Mangle looks like a girl, but it could actually be a boy, and it could be dressed up as a girl for being family friendly. Maybe the soul that possesses Mangle is actually a boy.
Or maybe, you know that Mangle is supposed to be a toy version of Foxy.
Yeah.
Foxy has also had a debate whether it's being a boy or a girl. But then it was proved to be a boy. But still, we know the evidence for both sides. Maybe Mangle, because of it, everyone taking it apart and putting it back together, being a taken apart and put back together attraction, maybe it was furious with that and wanted to destroy people for it, but instead of destroying them, they only took the frontal lobe off.
Well, Mangle most likely has always been known as like a toy Foxy, but you never know. The purple guy probably controls the restaurant because people have made fan art of the purple guy as being a night guard. We could possibly be a purple guy or a pink guy, or we could possibly be inside one of the suits ourselves as an attraction.
Well, as you see in the after the jump scares, once you get killed, in 2 cases you die, but in 1 case you actually stay alive. I think that's the second game when the mask was out. You could see the old restaurant place from the first game, and everything led towards it, but don't really know anything. And back on the Springtrap subject, with him being the old one, you never know though. He could actually be, because they locked him in the back room, he could actually wanted revenge, and instead of it, he bit somebody.
On the Springtrap picture saying "I'm still here," basically that has him with sharp teeth, but when he jump scares you, he has bare, like, I don't know, like normal human teeth, which are not like even fangs. But then it also brings me to the point when maybe Foxy isn't even a suspect. I know it's silly to say that, but when Foxy jump scares you, he just comes into the room and doesn't even shake you, he just looks in the room.
But that's in the first game. In the second and third game, he properly jump scares you.
That was back then though, you're forgetting. The first game set in the future, the second game set in the past. So that was back then. Maybe he was reprogrammed, so possibly he could have caused a bite of A7 and then be reprogrammed to not harm anybody.
Albert, think about it. If they took away the toy animatronics, that could lead for a big suspicion on being a toy. And on Golden Freddy, there has been a lot of beliefs of being a toy Golden Freddy. So I think that with all of that, the toy Golden Freddy might have caused it.
We've missed... I know what you just said about the toy Golden Freddy. Apparently the toy Golden Freddy was an Easter egg in the second game, but in the first game, the normal Golden Freddy was an Easter egg. Plus, we're forgetting a big suspect in here. Nightmare Freddy's minions, and they are actually attached to him. What if they can jump off, like another theory that I've heard of? And
yeah, maybe they can maybe they are like a distraction, like the Phantoms were for Springtrap. Maybe they're a distraction for Nightmare Freddy, like the Phantoms were for Springtrap. You get distracted with the little ones while the big one is coming towards you.
Well, like you said with the Phantoms, but we know that Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is going to be based in a museum, so we think. It could also be based in a pizza restaurant, but every other Five Nights at Freddy's game has been based in a pizza restaurant. If in the third game when it burnt down, they said all the parts would be reserved. It would be put in a museum. Now we don't know where it actually went, but Freddy's hat was taken to put to reserve. Then this Nightmare Freddy came and took the hat and destroyed it. Because I'm looking at a picture right now of Nightmare Freddy with the destroyed hat.
Yeah, I see that, but maybe the destroyed hat is maybe they changed it and altered it a bit and made it into a more robotic-like one with like wires and stuff to make it look bit more friendly. Weird though.
That's a good point actually, because we don't actually see Bonnie's guitar. Maybe in the 5th picture we could see Bonnie's guitar. Nightmare Golden Freddy's going to be pretty hard to find. But do you think that rounds out this whole theory? We might make a part 2 later on if we have time.
Yeah, although with Balloon, let's just finish off with Balloon Boy.
Oh yeah, Balloon Boy.
Balloon Boy has got, if you pay close attention, I've even seen this in most gameplays. If you look carefully when he's in your office, he's got like eyes in his mouth. Maybe they're just a small part of their eyes, and they actually took out a little pinch of their eyes from the Bite of 87. Could be possible.
Well, you see, people used to think that he was an animatronic. How could he move around if there was no animatronic suit inside of him? I mean, unless it was possession. It could possibly be possession. Unless, because what are the eyes at the back of his mouth then? We see Mangle. He's obviously an animatronic because you see it. It's obvious. I mean,
maybe he's just like a bin for them. They dump the bits of eyes in him.
Oh yeah. So it's like Balloon Boy. He's meant to be an advertisement as like a mascot. Anyway, do you think that now rounds out the theory?
Yeah, I think we might want to make a second part.
Actually suspecting a different theory, unless you still want to continue the Bite of 87.
Actually, one other thing with the old animatronics.
Oh yeah, in the second game.
They look just torn up, like they've been taken apart to make sure they don't bite people. Like with old.
Well, they messed up.
His face was ripped out.
Well, they messed up Chica because she has even more teeth than before.
Yeah. Well, that's in the 4th game teaser, not in the.
No, in the first, in the second game as well.
But then, if you look at Toy Chica, totally on a different subject, she's got her beak missing. Where did her beak go?
She takes it off and probably leaves it on the stage, unless she removes it so that her teeth are free to bite people with. Although you can't even move her mouth when the beak is off. The beak is the only movable thing. But I think that we've basically covered every animatronic apart from Freddy Fazbear, but the rest we might have to leave in our next theory.
Yep.
So yeah guys, if you like this theory and want to see more theories, then hit that like button, and that will show Great Sports Series. Subscribe if you haven't yet, that will also show Great Sports Series and more. See you in the video for the video. Bye for now. Bye.
See ya.